Hey guys, this is Zara for Trans Youth, of course. Let's try and get that out of the way. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is Zara for Trans Youth. Okay, so this week's topic is how do we get support from our family, friends, and especially partners? This does not mean how they help us, but rather in what way they help us. Emotionally, physically, mentally, and what problems do we go through that they help us with. So I was reading this question, and I'm still kind of confused about it, but I'm going to try and answer the best I can. So I have my family, and my family is extremely supportive. Like my mom and my dad and my two sisters, and some of my extended family as well. But I know I wouldn't be doing as well in my transition if it wasn't for my mom and my dad and my sisters. Especially my parents, I think. They've just been... Because my parents are they're both very well-educated people. They know how the world works. So, I don't know. Their biggest problem with me transitioning at first was that, not that they thought I was a freak or anything, but more or less they were scared for me. Because they know the world isn't a good place for people like us. But I think they've seen in the, what's it been, like 2.5 years since I started my transition. They've seen me grow a lot. They've seen that I can take care of myself and that I'm not going to let people push me around or anything like that. So, yeah, and you know, the way my parents raised me, not to toot my own horn here, but I think my parents raised me very well. Like, I'll look at myself compared to other people my own age, and I think they're fucking morons. Like, sitting around watching Jersey Shore and shit. I don't know. It just seems like a waste of life, but I don't know. Like, I think that it's probably partially them, but also the transition in general, because I find, and a lot of other people have told me the same, that the transition matures you a lot. I've also seen trans people, though, that though they have transition, they're still not mature at all. So it could be that. It could just be parents helping. I don't know. I mean, as far as my sisters go, they've just been very supportive. Like, my one sister, well, I guess with both of them, pretty much as soon as I told them they were trans, they were like, hey, sis, how's it going, Zara? All that. You know, not calling me their brother or anything anymore. Yeah, and that helps. Because, say, even today, for example, every now and then I'll go to one of my grandmother's houses, and one of my aunts or something will say, how are you doing, Harley? And I'll be like, that's not my name. That hasn't been my name for a couple of years now. It's just, and it's still annoying, but I understand where they're coming from, because it's not like they spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm doing. They're doing their own thing, and of course they know I'm trans, but they have known me for such a long time as one thing, and then now I'm something else, so it's going to take a little getting used to. It's not like I see them very often or anything, so it makes sense, but it's still annoying. My family doesn't do that. Of course, because they've had a lot more time, they spend a lot more time thinking about me than probably any of my aunts would or anything. So, yeah, they've also helped me out quite a bit physically. Like, at least my parents. As you guys know, I'm trying to save a lot of money for my surgery now, and my dad's been able to raise a few dollars himself too. Most of what I have now I've gotten myself. I think I have about $2,000 now saved for it. And my dad has probably contributed maybe like $300. So, you know, that's $300. That's a good chunk of coin. Especially considering neither of my parents are doing great financially. So, you know, he could have easily put that $300 to pay a bill or something. But he saw that I have this goal that I need to Phil, to complete this goal. And he's here to help me do it. My dad is also, when I go to Thailand for my surgery, he's going to go with me. So I won't be alone there. At least for the first month or so anyway. Because he's going to come back and I'm going to stay there. But yeah, he's going to be with me when I'm having my surgery. So I'll have a little bit of support from my father there. Of course, I'll have support from everyone else too, but he's going to be there with me. It'd be much harder being there by myself, especially it being a whole new country. My dad is already slightly more familiar too with Thailand, because his fiance lives in the Philippines, so he's been to Thailand with her, I think, a couple of times now. So he's pretty familiar with the country as far as I know. So he'll be able to kind of show me around while he's there, I guess, and show me where to go. So yeah, and they've all just been extremely supportive. Now, outside my family, of course I have the people I work with and everyone, they're supportive too. A couple of friends are supportive. They don't really help me though much other than their support. Of course, I mean, I work with them, so I guess they give me the hours that I make my money with, that I put into my savings account. But still, I mean, they're always there for emotional support, though. I think if I had a problem I wanted to talk about, I could go to a lot of the people I work with. I could go to a few people I know. Yeah, I'd have a lot of people who I'd be able to talk to. Yeah. So, I think that's really it. I hope I covered the topic. I think I did. It was kind of hard for me to understand, but I did the best I could. So, yeah, this is R for Trans Youth. You guys know the drill. If you have a question, email it to transyouthchannel@gmail.com, and comment and subscribe to us.